Hey there, everybody, and welcome to our weekly show. It's called Tournament Horse Racing, brought to you by Broke Guys Handicapping. I'll be your host. My name is Rich Sharp, and each week, what we've done is we've broken the horse racing calendar into four separate horse racing tournaments, and each one of those tournaments consists of approximately 10 racing days. That's actually what you're going to be watching tonight is one of those racing days. We simply measure who wins the most money on one of those individual racing days, and whoever wins the most money wins that day. We keep track over a 10 race tournament, approximately 10 races, and whoever wins the most money over those 10 races wins that particular tournament. We're coming to the end right now of the tournament that we call the Summer Series. Once again, uh, we're only measuring who wins the most amount of money during these tournaments. That's how the tournament works. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our horse players. Normally have four. Tonight we're just going to have three. It's the original three broke guys handicapping. Down to the south of me, living in Temecula, California, one of my oldest friends, Joe English. How's life going?
Good, Rich. Just want to let everybody know. I know the Travers and maybe even one race before are on Big Fox tomorrow, and the others are on I think FS1. And I know you can find them. But other than that, doing well. How you guys doing?
I'm not doing bad. I'm not doing bad. I'm going to swing all the way across the country, normally coming to it from Staten Island, New York, but I do believe he is in Virginia Beach tonight. Ray Torado. Hey, hey, I love that smile, man. How you doing?
I'm doing lovely, man. It's been a wonderful week.
Yeah,
On the beach, sun, sand, pool, can't beat it.
yeah. A little tough to beat it. Can't disagree with that.
Hey, now is that
All right.
better than Saratoga? Come on.
I was gonna say
Actually, you know what?
Joe and Ray.
It's been a great 2 weeks.
Yeah,
There you go. You
fresh
got
off
it.
the fresh off
Oh
their
man, tell
vacation
you.
there to Saratoga.
Oh yeah.
Joe and Ray. We're not going to go far tonight. We're actually going to go right back to Saratoga. But before we do that, let's go ahead. We'll take a look at what happened last week. And let's go ahead and bring up my screen here. Last week, again, we were at Saratoga. Joe and Ray actually were at Saratoga. They were live on the track for the Alabama Stakes. And as you see there, Ray takes home the trophy for that weekly tournament. He got $15.30. Nosed me out, so to speak. I tried to come back there at the last race. Could not quite catch Ray. And again, we'll put the check mark here next to Ray's name. We will go ahead and take a peek over here at our season standings. As you see there again, I'm still in the lead, followed by Steve. He is not here tonight, and Ray and Joe. And again, all the way down here, block out my face there. You're looking at Ray as our winner for Saratoga with the Alabama Stakes and the Lake Placid. I thought that was fitting, Ray, considering the fact that you were on track, so you had the home field advantage on me.
And a winning weekend too. For the
Yeah.
3 days we were there.
Again, this is the
Eh,
Summer Stakes Series tournament. It is very heavy on Saratoga Racetrack and Del Mar Racetrack and things like that. And just to show you how heavy it is, I will go ahead and bring up some of the gifts that I got from Joe today. Him and Ray, as I pointed out. I don't know if you can see it, but Ray bought me a shirt that's here that is from Saratoga, the National Racing Museum, and I've also got a shirt here from Saratoga, and I have a book from the National Racing Hall of Fame which I will most certainly be studying. I can always use the help, and I love reading historical books about horse racing. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate the gifts. Let's
You're
go ahead
welcome.
and yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
no worries.
Thank you so much. I wish I could have been there with you. All right, let's go ahead and get along now. And with that, we're going to go right back to Saratoga because that's just where the good racing is. We're going to start out in race number 8. They're going 7 furlongs on the main track. It is the Allen Jerkins Memorial Stakes. It is a grade 1. The purse is $500,000. They're going 7 furlongs on the main surface. And your morning line favorite is in post number 6. That is Jack Christopher, ridden by Chad Brown and, excuse me, trained by Chad Brown, ridden by Jose Ortiz. 6-5 on the Saratoga morning line. And believe it or not, Steve was slated to go first tonight. However, we're going to go ahead and skip Steve for right now, see if he'll text us with his picks. Ray, Who do you like in the Allen Jerkins?
Well, you know, it's pretty much how can I say it? Jack Christopher to me, probably right now, is the best 3-year-old sprinter. The two-ton experiment is over. I'm on him. I'm gonna go truck here. I think he's gonna win. I don't see anybody to run with him early. And he won the Haskell. He won the mile on eighth, finished third, but he's back to his main game. I think the one turn. You know, based on that, he won the Roy Stevens, and he's been winning by open lengths and sprints. And here I have trouble finding anybody to run with him early. And you could probably rate a little bit too. And there's some new shooters here, like Good Night. So,
All right, Joe.
so
Oh,
Jack
okay. I
Christopher.
didn't realize Ray was done. And
I'm
the
sorry.
Oh
great thing
no,
about the show, yeah, the great thing about the show is we can agree to disagree. And one of the new shooters is the horse on the rail. The horse's name is Conager. And I would think he's going to go early. He really doesn't have much of a way to go other than go, especially considering he drew the rail at 7 furlongs. He's not going to back off and just let Jack Christopher, run on the lead by himself. I can't see that possibly happening based on his PPs. So he's going to be in front. And my guess is Jack Christopher will probably rate off him. And considering I'm last in the standings, Jack Christopher really isn't going to do me a whole hell of a lot of good here. So I'm going with the horse who I think loves the track. And he won the stake race last time, and that's the 8 Gunite. He's getting no respect at 6-1. He's not even the third choice, considering he's got 2 wins over the track, graded races, one last year, one this year, and just based on what he's done at Saratoga, last year, his 2 best races were the Saratoga Special, where he finished second, and the Hopeful that he won. His 2 best figures were those 2 races. And of course, he comes back this year, and the best race he's run so far this year is the race he just won, the Amsterdam, beating a creative and running son of a gun. So I think he's gonna be up close, but I think he's gonna be able to rate a little bit. And I just love the fight he showed last time against a creative. Again, I think he likes the track. Asmussen's bar's on fire at 28%, where normally he's around 17, 18 to maybe even the low 20s. He's really, really clicking, and his connection with Gaffleone at 26% is also pretty solid. So give me the 8 at 6-1. Give me Gunite. I'll take the guy who's 2 for 3 over the track. Rich?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to kind of fall into the category of, what Joe said. Um, in addition to the fact that the horse is by Gunrunner as a 3-year-old, Stephen Asmussen, Tyler Gaffleone, they're 26% together. The horse looked fantastic winning the Amsterdam. Has a couple of those horses in this particular race and beat them. And unfortunately, I've got my little notepad here to show you that I'm not just trying to block Joe and things like that. I'm going to show you that he could be eyewitness to it because it was sitting on the table when we were sitting there at the bar together drinking a little bit. But I've actually got the 8 as well. We do not have a pick from Mr. Newsom. So let me go ahead and fill in our choices.
Oh yeah, and Rich, I don't know if you were watching the races last Saturday, but Asmussen unloaded a very good horse, very good 2-year-old named Echo again in the main race. He 115 and change for 6.5 furlongs.
Wow.
And he won by open length. So he's a 2-year-old to watch.
If any of you guys go to Vegas, a future bet, you know what?
Steve's there now.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Well, but they'll have future pools soon, I'm sure.
All right. All right. Here we go. Okay. We'll go ahead and move along to race number 9. And in race number 9, they're going 1 mile and 1/8 on the main surface. It is the Personal Ensign Stakes. It's a grade 1. The purse is $600,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is in post number 3. And this is Clairiere, 6-5 on the morning line and trained by Steve Asmussen, ridden by Joel Rosario. If I'm not mistaken, I believe, Joe, you are up first in this particular race.
Yeah, see, it looks like maybe, I mean, it's possible Asmus could have a really big day tomorrow. And I mean, heck, could he win 3 of the 4? I think it's about the 3 third stakes. It's entirely possible. Again, 6-5 ain't going to do me a lot of good from where I sit standing. I'm going back to the rail runner, Latruska. She's got a fantastic record. She's usually on the lead. I mean, 1926, you can't argue. Won the first Lansing over this oval last year. I'm going to forgive the last race. Last time the horse got beat at Del Mar, the horse came back to win her return. Royal Delta at Gulfstream. This is around 2 turns, and those search results probably could go with her, and maybe Crazy Beautiful could be a little close. I don't think she's going to have to run 22 and 45 to be on the lead here. Somehow, I think she might be able to get away with 23 and 47. And if she gets away 23 and 47 and she's clear, they're going to have a tough time running her down. And yes, I understand how good Claria is. But she's 2 for 3 here. And like I said, if she can set a slower pace, she's a threat to win. And at 3-1, she's the third choice on the morning line, if I remember right, or maybe she is the second choice. But with that sparkling record and her speed, I'll take the chance that she can rebound from that last race. Give me the Latruska, Rich.
Ready, sir? And I am actually going to swing outside a little bit to the outside. I'm going to go with the 5 horse, Malathot, trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden by John Velasquez. A little bit of a couple of losses there to Clairiere, finishing second both times. But if you look back on her PPs, she had also beaten Clairiere. Clairiere, more of the closer, comes from off the pace, with Malathot being a little bit better of the stalker horse in this particular case. The horse at one point in time cost over $1 million to get it started, and I often feel I'm taking a horse for a course. She's got a win here at Saratoga, 2 seconds. She's got 2 wins at the distance. Todd Pletcher, John Velasquez, right now only showing 20%, but that's still a very good combination. So I went with the 5. I've got Malathot. Ray, go ahead and finish us off in this race because we've got no Steve here.
I went for the horse next to the Latruska, search results. She's got a nice record, 6-10. She's in good form. I think she'll get first run on Latruska and hopefully to hold off the other horses like Claria. It'll be a good race. And I just think that she's Flavor Pratt. Gonna be aggressive with her. I know Jose's gonna be aggressive with Latruska, so hopefully with Stalker and try and get by her and hold off the other horse with Claria stretch. And also Marathon too. It's gonna be a good race down the stretch. These are some good horses, and they just take turns beating each other. So, but it's a grade 1, and she really has a couple of grade, but one grade 1 win. So I'll go with search results for Chad Brown and Travers Stables.
All right. Here we go.
And while Rich is putting up the picks, congratulations to John Velasquez, first rider ever get 1,000 wins at Saratoga. Current record holder.
Yes.
I believe it was just yesterday.
Wow.
So congratulations to Johnny V. Quite an accomplishment considering. He broke Angel's record wins with 694. Granted, they ride a lot more days now than Angel was there. But still, 1,000 wins is 1,000 wins.
And Bailey too, right? Bailey
had
we saw his number 2.
I'm not sure how many. I know we saw the plaque. I'm not sure how many wins Bailey had.
Yeah,
he was in the 600s for sure.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're moving along. We're on to race number 10. They're going 1.5 miles on the inner turf. This is the Resorts World Casino Sword Dancer Stakes. The purse is $750,000 for 4-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is there in post number 3. That is Broom, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Ryan Moore, is 3-1 on the Saratoga morning line. And if I'm looking here at my calculations, I am up first myself, and I believe I went right there in the one hole. I've got Adamo, trained by Chad Brown, ridden by Flavian Pratt. I think I've been on this horse for a little bit of time now, and I bet him in the Manhattan Stakes. That was on this show. I actually bet him at the track as well that day, or via TDG, I should say, and came right back. And again, bet him in the United Nations. They're bound July 23rd. I believe he is a solid turf horse that does come from overseas. So with Aidan O'Brien coming in with maybe an overseas invader's broom, I thought this was a good way to maybe counteract that. You can see the owner is Madaket Stables, which does very well overseas as well. And I went with Adamo, the one horse in uh, race number 10. I am going to go ahead and hand it off to not Steve, but to Ray. Go ahead, Ray.
All right, sorry, Rich. I'm taking your horse.
Yeah, no.
Number 6, Gufo. He runs well a mile and a half. He's 3 out of 5. No, he's a closer, so he's been probably need some pace there. There definitely should be some with Tribune and next to go out there and win it. So, Rosario stays. Rosario's hot this week. Last week, too, he's been riding well. Catch up in the standings. And I think Bufo's going to get up there and, timely ride. Hopefully he can beat all those, Chad Brown. So, Bufo for me.
Ray, the only thing I was disappointed about the Saratoga trip was the fact that Rosario didn't ride and he was
I know.
sick the whole weekend. So we didn't get to see him fly a trade. That was really, it was a disappointment. And again, he was sick, so I got to blame him for it. I'm on the same horse as you, Ray. My big concern is the pace. I know Tribuvan's in the race. I don't think anybody's going to battle with him early. I just hope that they don't let him get away. And if you look at, it's funny because if you look at Gufo's last 2 running lines, he was 10th and 10 lengths back and 6 lengths back at the start. And then by the second call, he was 15 lengths back and almost 10 lengths back. Without pace, you can't let this horse keep falling further behind and expect to catch up. So, and again, Joel Rosario is a world-class rider, but I just think the last couple of times he's been a victim of pace. I'm hopeful that at least tomorrow he'll be somewhat more aggressive, considering he won this race last year. Obviously, 1 for 2 with a second at Saratoga for a potent jockey trainer combination. So, and I think the price will be right because of Broom's presence and Adamo. He's going to be third choice. And heck, who knows? Maybe he can drift up. But like I said, I just don't want to see him losing ground into the second call and then he's just been left too much to do. So I'll take Gufo hopeful that Rosario is more aggressive tomorrow, and he at least tries to keep him in the mix longer than he's done the last couple
All right, here we go. We are going on to the finale. We are going on to the Midsummer Derby, if you like. They're going 1.25 miles on the main track. It is the Run Happy Travers Stakes, a Grade 1. The purse is $1,250,000. And your morning line favorite is there in post number 6, Epicenter, trained by Steve Asmussen and ridden by Joel Rosario, is 7-5 on the Saratoga morning line. And Ray, we're going to swing right back around to you. Go ahead and kick off the Travers.
It's a nice field. 8 horses here. We got the Derby winner. We got the Princess winner. Fortunately, the Belmont winner's not hurt. I'm gonna go horse who's drastically improving fast. And number 8, Zandon. I think he's gonna be get the distance. He did win in the Derby. He went 3rd. He was 2nd, top of the stretch, and then you definitely want to win the race there. In the Jim Dandies, coming off the layoff, he ran well. He's fully placed, and he's finished second to Epicenter, who ran a very nice race. So I like the early bowling, but I think the pace you're probably gonna face some pressure here. I don't think he'd be on the lead like by himself or whatever. So I'm gonna pick a stablemate Zandon to close into this pace. He seems to have like acceleration around the mid race, so I like that. They get into the race pretty well. Flavor Pratt has him, Chad Brown, so I go for Zandon to pick up his first grade one in the Travers. Joe?
Well, actually, Ray, he won the Bluegrass, which was already grade one. So
Oh, okay,
not to correct you, but
it's
but
dark.
no, I mean, I mean, anybody who wins the Travers is pretty awesome accomplishment. I'm going back to the forgiveness angle. I forgave Latrice the last time, and I'm going to forgive early voting for the last effort. So I'm going back to the 7 early voting. He's 8-1 morning line. He's the likeliest pace setter, just as he was in the Jim Dandy, and he set a reasonable pace. And if he was anything close to what he was in the Preakness, he probably would have. He would have definitely accounted for himself better. Was he going to beat Epicenter? Probably not. Epicenter was a monster that day, but he did beat Epicenter in the Preakness by doing what he can exactly do tomorrow. Is get in front. The field at least is a little bigger than it was for the Jim Dandy. There were only 4 in there, so now if Epicenter is 7th or 8th, he's going to have to loop the whole field and beat early voting. And again, in this case, I don't see unless one of the new shooters. I know Rich Strike isn't going to the lead. Epicenter doesn't seem like it seems like they want to raid him now. So I can't see how early voting doesn't get an easy lead. And I got to trust Chad Brown. I don't think he'd be running the horse if the horse was doing so poorly after that last race at Saratoga in the end. So I'm going to vote for a rebound. You're going to get a better price for sure. And again, 7-5 on Epicenter isn't going to do me a hell of a lot of good. And I'm sure everybody knew that before I even said it. So give me the 7 early voting at 8-1. Rich?
I thought this one was so difficult. I don't know if the camera will pick this up and everything, but I actually scratched out like the winner like 3 different times, I believe, on here. I have said all season long that I thought Epicenter is the best 3-year-old of this crop. I'm not so sure that I still don't feel that way. Even going into this race, I don't think it would surprise me to see Epicenter win this race. But I'm gonna go in a different direction, specifically because we are in this tournament. And even though yes, the overall statistics, I still want to win. And I thought that I would go a little bit off or not off the reservation, but I'd go for a little bit of a longer price. And looking at Brad Cox and Florentino, I felt a little dumb having not bet this horse in the Haskell. I did like him a lot back in the Arkansas Derby. He did not do so well in the Kentucky Derby, and then came out of that and won the Matt Win, and then wins the Haskell. And if I'm not mistaken, when he won the Haskell, if that may have been like a track record,
Yes.
right? So,
Well, it's funny because they run a track record like 5 races before it, and that track record for a mile and 8 lasted like 5 races.
the last like 5 races. So there we
It
go.
was a very fast track that day.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and take the 1 horse, even though during this show I scratched out the 1 horse and put in the 6 horse one more time because I did like Epicenter so much this season. But I'm going to take Florian Giroux and Brad Cox, and I'll go ahead and put the 1 horse in there. Again, the horse has a very sharp pedigree. Came through, kind of the fairgrounds, Oaklawn Park, and then at Churchill Downs with the Kentucky Derby, and wins the Matt Win and wins the Haskell, which was a very good field, beating Jack Christopher and Taiba in that one. And again, setting a, as Joe pointed out, momentary track record.
Oh no, it's still the track record. They just set it like 5 races before it in an older handicap at a mile and 8. He actually holds the track record now. It's just like I said, the horse before it lasted like 5 races.
All right.
Just making a point that it was the track.
A little bit souped up that day. So
yeah, you would say.
Yeah.
And actually, I want to make one more comment, and maybe this will be controversial. I don't know. I think maybe possibly Ray and I saw the best 3-year-old in this crop last weekend, and
yeah,
it doesn't mean that she's a male.
Oh yeah.
That's just pretty damn good. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
From what we saw close up, she's pretty good.
Oh yeah. She belongs in this race.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
All right, gentlemen. Let me know if I've got your picks correct there.
Okay. Yes, sir.
1-1. Again, our good friend Steve Newsom, who normally participates in this particular show every week, is at a convention in Las Vegas. So we will go ahead and fill in his picks for him once he gets back. And if I've got everybody's picks, I will go ahead and come back to you all.
Yeah, if we get the picks, Rich, if we get them and we can update it on it with a comment on YouTube, we'll try to do that.
All right. So one more time to the both of you. Thank you so much for my gifts. I really appreciate them, and that made me feel great. Guys, got anything you want to add before we go ahead and sign off for the evening?
Flight line about a week away. Pacific Classic Day. Other than that.
Nice. All right. Well, that's how we do it each week here on Tournament Horse Racing. Again, the show is brought to you by Broke Guys Handicapping for Joe English and for Ray Torado, for Steve Newsom, who wasn't even here tonight. But my name is Rich Sharp. Thank you. Good luck, everybody, and good night.
Good night.
Night all.